Good morning, dear students. Welcome you all to the next lecture of JC Connect series of online lectures. So, in today's lecture, we will be looking into the questions which were there in the class test which was conducted yesterday. I think first two questions supposingly were easy, and hopefully I've got the answers of the first two questions. Okay, these were the answers which were there. This will be shared in the group also, not to worry. And this sums I cannot teach you back again because we have gone far ahead beyond these concepts. These were the answers. Coming to the second question, there was a trick wherein the entire angle was given 160. You are supposed either to break up the angle with the vertical as 20 using the logic 180 minus 60 is equal to 20, or quadrant wise also you were supposed to take 70 degrees with the x-axis. So few of you all have done it, fine. Few of you all had a doubt. So these were two examples. Then the real fun started when this example came in.
So,
Yeah. Yes, tell me.
the summation F1.
Yeah, what happened summation Fy?
So it will come minus 10. No, so
Which example?
summation y second example.
Second example. As per my solution book, I've got this answer. Okay.
Yes,
Once
yes.
So
again, I'll verify.
plus 10
Yes, yes.
we are getting 37.12.
Which one?
sir.
Yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute. One of you speak. Which one you're talking about? Summation fx. Now see here, I'll tell you all minus 30 sine 20 because angle is with the x-axis, minus 35 cos 60, angle is with the y-axis, and this is going left side, minus 20. Now what is your equation which you have written? Is who are getting different answers? What is the
So
equation?
summation of fx is correct. Summation of fy we are getting 37.12.
37. Okay, means in my addition there might be a doubt. This equation is correct. Minus cos 20. Okay.
Sir, it's
Then
correct.
35 sine
Sir,
60.
it's correct,
Yes.
sir. It's
Plus
correct.
10 plus 50. Yeah, it's
Correct,
correct.
sir. In degree mode, sir, it's correct.
Yeah. Degree mode only we have to operate compulsorily. 27.120. Twice I solved, and with two students it is verified also. So next time when you are telling that it is different or it is this, first twice thrice you verify your calculations, because now this is not the stage where you are supposed to make mistakes in the calculation using the calculator. We have gone beyond that stage. We have gone into understanding stage where you are not able to do. Now this question was there. A 35 Newton force is a resultant of two forces, one of which is shown in the figure. Find the other force and its inclination. Now see the English, okay, simple A, B, C, D English. A 35 Newton force is the resultant. That means R is equal to 35 of two forces, one of which is shown. 15 is a shown force, means F1, if we say F1 is 15. Find the other force and inclination. Now, what chemical action took place in your brains, I don't know. Okay, because when you read the statement, you saw two forces, you thought they are F1, F2, started making equations. Summation Fx is equal to, okay, 15 cos plus 35. Done. No, that's not the approach. A sum is given. That's why I had given the examples early. The statements of the questions were dropped in the group 10 minutes early, so that while writing those statements, I felt your brain will react. But that process is not happening, which is very dangerous. Okay, which is very dangerous. I cannot solve 100 examples here. I cannot sit in module 1 only. You got to read the sum and understand. Now many of you all, what made you all think 35 cos plus 15 cos? Read the statement. A 35 Newton force is the resultant. Okay, means directly from first sentence you will get R is equal to 35 of two forces, one of which is shown in figure 3. One of which means if say two forces are F1 and F2 or P and Q, whatever you take, F1 is 15. find the other force and its inclination. F2 is equal to question mark, theta 2 is equal to question mark. Okay. Now here we are finding, that answer is correct or answer is wrong. Okay, those things. Okay, fine. Once we are able to make the statement or summation effects, those all things can be solved. But ask yourself why you're not thinking when English is so simple given here. A 35 Newton force is the resultant. R is 35. Statement itself says, but maximum of you all, see now, this is the modified version. Okay, this will not be given in the exam. I'm here now, I'm telling this. In the exam, what will you do regarding this? So here what happens? R is 35, F1 is 15, F2 we don't know, question mark, theta 2 we don't know, question mark. Here F1 is 15, R is equal to 35. Let F2 be the second force which is unknown, which is making, and theta 2 which is also equal to question mark. From here, you should be able to jump to this. Then only it is that you are able to read English and understand. No, many of us were in the race of completion of the sum. Summation fx is equal to 35 cos whatever angle was, 15 cos whatever angle was, summation fy is equal to. Are Baba, then what to find? Huh? So with this, we get this simple thing. Now, what is this 35 cos 67.38? The summation fx equal to rx that we have solved in previous examples. And rx is x component of 35, which is said to be the resultant, 35 cos 67.38. And from this equation, we are getting f2 cos theta 2 is equal to 1.46. Similarly, now we'll write fy equation, where this red colored part, 35 sine 67.38 is ry, which is the y component of the resultant, because in the statement it is nicely mentioned 35 Newton force is the resultant. Now from this we get one more equation. So now once we get this step, basically algebra comes into picture. The mechanics part gets over here. Equation 1, equation 2. Squaring and adding 1 and 2, we can get F2. Dividing 2 by 1, so it comes as tan theta, inverse will get the angle theta 2. Okay, so basically where you all lacked is understanding the statement of the example itself. Now, this I cannot teach you all sum by sum because sums are many. This you got to develop. Firstly, you have to understand it is all about only summation fx and summation fy. Okay, some forces are given, we want to find the resultant. Sometimes resultant is given, we want to identify the force. Okay, as simple as that. But where you all started, many people who have sent me, I appreciate that you have put an effort. That's there, I've counted, I've written those numbers and kept aside. Okay, need not worry. But your thinking went in the same direction. Summation fx is equal to 15 cos 36.87 plus 35 cos. Why you're taking that 35 in fx? It is rx, because 35 Newton is the resultant of the two forces. It is not a force which is mentioned. Okay, so don't get overexcited looking at the examples. They seem to be easy, but when you start solving with that mode, they are difficult. If you think a bit, they are quite easy and straightforward. So this is the question number 3. Okay, I'll share this as soon as this class. Yesterday I did not share. Who all have texted me or who all have sent me the answers, I think to them I have shared this file yesterday. I have not shared this file in the group. Now comes the 4th example. Determine the inclination of two forces shown in figure 4. Okay, the resultant of which is 1400 directed vertically upwards. Now, in such situation, what your brain thinks? F1 is equal to 1000, F2 is equal to 800, R is equal to 1400 going upwards. So it is clearly mentioned here in the example, directed vertically upwards, means resultant is moving upwards. That means Rx is equal to 0. Ry is equal to 1400. Okay, because resultant is moving upwards. Now for this, firstly, this figure comes wherein you mark that R is equal to 1400, which is going upwards. Now summation Fx is equal to, what we'll write, summation Fx is equal to 0 and summation Fy is equal to Ry is equal to R. Such examples previously I have solved. Okay, but no, brains are not reacting. Why? You are not able to understand the statement. So to understand the statement, what you got to do is we got to solve examples. We got to read the statement properly. Once a statement is thrown at us, our brain first should realize what is the statement of the example, what is given, what is to be determined. So now entire example, how many things will be there? F1, F2, F3, F4. Theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, theta 4 and Rx, Ry. Okay, only these components will be there. Now in this example, F1 and F2 are given. Okay, R is given. R is given means Rx is there. Rx is equal to 0 because R is going vertically upwards. That directly Ry is 1400. Theta 1 is mentioned as alpha, which we don't know. Theta 2 is mentioned as beta, which we don't know. So now we have the equations. Summation Fx equal to, this is 0. Why? The resultant is moving vertically upwards. We have this, from this equation we get, okay, when we shift 800 to that side, remove the two zeros, 10 cos alpha is equal to 8 cos beta. Now similarly, Fy equation, right hand side will be 1400 because in this case the resultant is moving vertically upwards. That means Ry is equal to R is equal to 1400. And from this we get these two equations. Now two equations, two unknowns. Your mathematical skills comes into picture, right? You all are lucky, you all have passed PUC giving the exam. Okay, so at least this much to banta hai. Okay, you have spent a lot of time going to the tuitions here, there, everywhere. Okay, then got these two equations. Squaring and adding 1 and 2, we get beta. Okay, now the squaring and adding, you should have common sense. How you will square and add? Because in equation 1, it will be 8 square cos square beta. But in the equation 2, it is 14 into bracket minus sine beta the whole square. So a minus b the whole square. Formula comes into picture here. That common sense you should have when you are squaring and adding. Okay, 8 square cos square beta will be easily done. But when you are squaring second term, it is a minus b the whole square. So that equation becomes 14 square minus 8 square sine square beta plus 2 into 14 into 8 into sine beta. Okay, so that happens. Then take the common things, you'll get the value of beta easily. Now the squaring and adding, it is difficult to teach at this age for you all. You should not expect this to be taught by me now, squaring and adding. Then substitute that beta value in any of the equations, either 1 or 2, you'll get the value of alpha. So here it's the game of forming two equations properly, as simple as that. Okay, there is nothing beyond this. So in the third example, which we had difficulty, what was the logic? In the third example, which we have put up, and many of you all are least bothered about this test also. You have not replied to me, okay, nor you have sent me the answers. Sagar, Bhajantri, can you tell me the third example?
Yes, sir.
Just, yeah, please tell.
Sir, R equal to 35 Newton.
Okay,
Result,
yes.
Resultant, sir.
Resultant, okay, and what we have to find?
F2, sir.
F2 and?
Theta
2, correct. See there, the statement, 30, okay, thank you, Sagar. 35 Newton force is the resultant of two forces. So from this diagram comes. This diagram will not be given in the textbook also, not in the final exam also. Okay, so that's where your understanding comes into picture. Understand that figures, understand the diagrams, okay, and you will be able to do the sums. Now, previous examples which we have solved, what you have focused on is getting the answer. No, this statement is correct or wrong. We are behind it. I am getting this answer. We never verified, and we never thought how that statement has come. Okay, so I gave a demo to you all. What can happen in the internals? You all will end up getting below 20 marks if the same thing happens in the internals. Luckily, theory questions are there which you can write. Up to one limit as a teacher, we can push you all. Beyond that, it's your practice and understanding. This is engineering, boss. ऐसे ही आके होके नहीं जाएगा सब. You will pass. That's there, but your future is in your hands. So these are the two tough examples. You feel so. Okay, so going further in today's class, again this fifth example. Now, using your common sense, can anyone voluntarily tell me what is there and what has to be done here? Is anyone of you can tell me? This example was previous only, we had discussed. Few of you all requested me to explain this example once again. So I've put up this example. Okay, can anyone
Summation
tell me?
fx is r
Okay,
and summation of fy is 0.
correct. Very good. Summation of fx is r and summation of fy is 0 because the hook is pulled towards x direction. Okay, hook is pulled towards x direction means resultant is acting towards x direction. Summation of fx is equal to r, summation of fy is equal to 0. Now, as resultant that is shown here, okay, direction of the resultant is shown, 150 force which is acting, the angle theta is unknown. Okay, this theta needs to be, we have to calculate this theta also here in this example. So equations are again summation of fx is equal to r, summation of fy is equal to 0. So now with this you should be able to write this fx equation. Okay, it goes very easy. Fx equations here are not difficult. Only you have to take care the angles are given with which axis, how are the angles, because here this 30 degrees is given between these two forces. So if you take from x-axis, it becomes 60 degrees. So what will be the equation? 60 cos 60, then 100 cos 60, 150 cos theta, which is unknown, and 80 cos 45 is equal to r. Then similarly, where all we had cos replaced by sine, these first quadrant all forces are positive, this force will become negative in summation fx equal to 0. So when we check this equation, only theta remains the unknown in this. So when you solve summation fy, you will get this value of theta. Use this in fx, you will get the value of r. Need not find the direction of r because it is acting along x-axis. So if you go by understanding, the sums are not difficult. Now see here when we come, summation fy is equal to 0. First I've taken minus 80. This is 1 minus 10, minus 80 sine 45. Then 60 sine 60, 100 sine 30, 150 sine theta. So in this only sine theta is the unknown. Theta is equal to sine inverse of, done. Summation fx is equal to r as told. So we have got the value of theta. Here this substitution comes. This is 150 cos theta. Theta is here. Substitute. We'll get r. This is perhaps most easiest example. Okay, you need not say square and add and do such all things. From one equation you are getting theta, one equation you are getting resultant directly. Okay, now I have one more example which is exactly similar to this. All of you are sitting with your book, notebook. Okay. Hopefully all of you are there with your book and notebook, everything is there. So here only in this problem I'll modify. You have to solve it now itself and give me the answer. Now again, what happens here is, now logic you all know, at least concentrate on solving. Let me see. Okay, the changes which are there are, this force is 100, this force is 80, again this force is also 80, and this bottom force is 200. Bottom force is 200. Yes. Now this is the small variation for which I have the answers. I want all of you all to solve this immediately. Same statement, everything remains the same. Okay, instead of this forces, okay, this is not there. Okay, you take this force 100, 80, 80 and 200. Understood the example? What change you have to make? Vedika, understood what change you have to make?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Solve fast. How much time you'll require? Just two statements you have to make: summation fx, summation fy. From summation fy, you'll get theta. Summation fx, you'll get r. Don't make silly mistakes in calculations. That's it. Hope all of you are all solving. Okay, and we have one list of students who are really not attending the classes properly. That will be told to you all by your class teacher. Is anyone with the answers?
So 339.32, sir.
What 339.32?
Resultant.
Result 339. Okay, anyone else? Amruta, can you tell me your fx equation? Or fy equation, can you tell me? Don't worry even if it is right or wrong.
Sir, minus 200 sine 45
Minus 200 sine 45.
plus 100 sine 60
Okay.
plus 80 sine 30 plus 80 sine theta is equal to 0.
Okay.
So resultant is 339.32.
339.32.
Yeah, I've got 340. Fine. And theta? Angle, how much you have got?
10.67.
10.67.
Yeah, fine. I've got 10.8. So now this sum you were able to solve easily because one previous same type example we had solved. Okay, this example was there with us. So we were able to solve this very easily because there was no point of logic application. Only we were behind the summation equation solving. We were behind solving. So we are not into a clerical work where we'll get repeatedly same jobs. We are engineers, we'll get new problems every time. So basically you have to work on logic development. Okay. So what should be the approach from your list? Sir, give us some examples where we will think. Okay. Actually, if you write this itself, the game is over because beyond this, your mathematical skills should be able to take you through. Okay. This is very important. This statement, if you are able to make, which you are not able to make in the test examples. Okay. You are not able to frame the equations right. Okay. So stress more on these logical things. Mathematics, have confidence on yourself. You have passed your PUC exams. Okay. You have done your M1 exams also. Have confidence. Okay. That with practice will come. But logic has to be developed. Logical things have to be developed. Okay, so let's come. So once again, Amruta, can you tell the answers once again?
Sir,
Who all are not-
resultant 339.32,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Resultant is around 340 and
हाँ,
angle
sir.
is around 11 degrees. Correct?
हाँ,
10
11.
point something.
हाँ,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. So all of you who have not got it or who are doing some scientific things, okay, taking degrees, radians, and something else, please note the answers. Resultant is 340 and angle is 10 point something up to 11 degrees. You'll get the angle. So let's go to the last example of today's class. Now, read the statement. Any one of you reading the statement, okay, problem is not yet given. Reading the statement only, see, determine the resultant of the force system acting on a body as shown. Okay, fine. Take coordinate directions as shown. That means coordinates means the axis. Our regular axes are vertical and horizontal. Now it is specifically mentioned here that take the coordinate directions as shown in the figure. Means something is different. Now see here this example. Determine the resultant of a force system acting on a body. This much time we did not have a body has come. And how is the coordinate system here? We had vertical and horizontal. Now we have an inclined coordinate system where the box is kept on a plane which is at 45 degrees and the axis is framed according to the slope of the plane. The axis is not exactly vertical and horizontal. Okay, the axis is with respect to the inclination of the plane. That means your axis is also tilted at 45 degrees. Now this is the thing which are termed as sloping examples. Now a ramp, if you have seen, or say unloading of the goods from an goods truck, or if you have seen in the car showroom, a big truck comes and then from a ramp those cars are taken down. Okay, so this is what is a ramp example or sloping plane example in which the axes are taken along the slope of the plane. Okay, the axes are taken along the slope of the plane. So now this is something different. Again, your brain will, say, oh, this is something else. No, same thing. Quadrants are same. First quadrant, second, third, and fourth. Quadrant system remains the same. Only the thing is that inclination has come into picture. Okay, that's the only change. Now, one hint or one thing you got to remember always. Okay, this angle of the slope. Okay, angle of the slope and the angle made by the vertical force. Now, if you say self weight will be acting vertically downwards always. Okay, angle of this slope and angle made by this force with the vertical axis always will be same. If this is not given also, you got to take it 45 because overall inclination is such that what angle the slope makes with the horizontal, the vertical force will make that same angle with the vertical. Okay, vertical force will make that same angle. Always remember this, mark this point and take. In the next example, say self-weight term comes. Self-weight will be acting now. 600 is nothing but it's self-weight. It is acting vertically downwards. The weight will not tilt. It will act perpendicular to the gravity only. Okay, so the 600 is vertically downwards straight. This will make the same angle as that is the angle of your slope. So even if this 45 is not given, you have to take this 45 only. If this 45 is missing, it is compulsorily. Okay, this angles have to be same and will be same throughout. So now we have got an example where we have a inclined plane and the axis is also given as inclined, but our logic remains the same. Okay, logic doesn't change. Okay, logic remains completely same. Summation of fx, again same logic, 700 cos 30. If you want, draw this diagram straight and take while solving. In the question paper, diagram will be like this only. If you want, you can draw this straight and take, maintaining all the angles as it is. So 700 cos 30. Now as this is going down, okay, if you draw it in a proper quadrant system, it will be easy for you all to understand in the initial example. Okay, this force is here. And this angle is 45 and this is 600 force. So first quadrant force coming inside, both are negative. And angle is with y-axis. Okay, so this is minus 600 sine 45. So similarly, you get the Fy equation, 800. Now this 800 force is acting here along the axis. So directly this is plus, acting vertically upwards. So this is plus. So this is this 800. Now this 800 won't come in Fx because it is acting along the vertical axis only. Then comes this force. Again, this will be minus. And then this 700 force, you can draw it in this quadrant and take like this. So its components are here. Y component is negative, X component is positive. So this is minus 700 going down, minus 700 sine 30. So you get summation fx, fy. Once you get summation fx and fy, it is easy. You can calculate r and you can calculate theta. So now using your calculators, tell me the answer of the resultant equations are put up. Only the thing here confusing is the plane is inclined. That's it. So still I'm not including these examples for your internals. But if your responses are such only like yesterday, very few responded to me. Okay, very few asked. Okay, I appreciate their efforts really who tend to ask. That is very important. Okay, such example I'll put in the internals. So give me the answer of yours. Arjun. Yes,
R
tell
is equal
Amrita.
to 183.
183.764.
Okay. And what is theta?
8.05.
8.04.
8.05 degrees. Okay.
8.05.
Yes, right. So this was an easy example of the slope wherein Only what we have to do is from the sloping quadrant system, we have to develop a diagram of a regular quadrant system and take and then solve as it is. Okay, no changes are required. So friends, what is very important now is you have to try and understand the examples. Now, how do you study? I'm telling is take the examples which we have solved. We have solved quite a number of examples now. Take those examples. Don't run behind the solution. Okay, this calculation, putting on the calculator, you'll be able to do. First, understand positive, negative, what is where. Okay, first understand that, and then take an example and frame the logical statements. Logical statement means summation fx equal to rx, summation fy is equal to ry, or summation fx is equal to r, summation fy equal to 0. What is given, what is to be found out. Okay, just make those statements. Then mathematical solving part, you should have confidence on your ability. Don't act stupidly. Now, putting the radians in place of degrees and getting different answers. Now that time has gone. We have already now nearly we are completing 1 month of studies. Okay, calculator mistakes are now cannot be permitted. Okay, you got to have that thing in with yourself now. Okay, so these were the examples, including the 4 examples of your test. Hopefully, I'll send this PDF as soon as the class gets over. You practice properly for the internals. Now much classes are not remaining. Thursday, it is Thursday already. So I think we have 1 class on Saturday, wherein I'll be solving your doubts so that after internals, I can start with moment examples. Okay, I'm not including the moment examples now itself. Now 1 or 2 sloping. Now, do you want such examples in internals? Sloping. Do you want such examples in your internals? Yes, any one of you? Shall I put such examples in the internals or no? Hello? Okay, so all of you put your name and roll number for attendance and you can exit the meeting. Thank you all. Have a good day.